bigger question is that do you forget how to really smile? Because what happens is you've been doing it so often, so many times.
रोबोटिक हो जाता
Yeah,
होगा.
क्योंकि अभी घर वालों से मुस्कुराना है तो
True.
रियल कैसे आएगा, या बॉयफ्रेंड के
True.
साथ मुस्कुराना है तो कैसे रियल आएगा? बिकॉज मैं तो ये करती आ रही हूँ. और hypothetically if somebody is your boyfriend, he's like पता नहीं रियल वाला है या वो प्लेन वाला है, I don't know.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes this happens. Trust me when I say this. Sometimes even in relationships, a lot of crew members would relate to it. Happens with me as well. If I'm dating somebody, if I'm like fighting, we're actually not fighting. This is like more of a, sitting and having a discussion. Okay, this is what it is. However, will you please understand this? So if I'm like smiling, आगे वाला बंदा डर जाता है. Because he does not know, is it coming naturally or is this
If
sarcasm?
my girlfriend starts smiling while fighting with them, पता नहीं रात को मर्डर ना कर दे मेरा आज रात को, आज कल सुबह नहीं उठूंगा
Exactly,
मैं.
because this also comes with all sarcasm, because I'll be like, thank you. And this thank you, the other person like, mard or aurat, typical thing. You will not understand. And guys would be like, oh my god, what is she up to, right? This actually happens. This is a very good point. But yeah, this happens. It scares sometimes. Like, people take you sarcastically, like, are you smiling for real? But also this is a plus point sometimes, because I don't know, this is personally with me. I would love if a stranger just passes me a smile. But this has a disadvantage as well. Supposedly, a country or a place, right, where a smile is not required, because not everybody would acknowledge you the same
Especially
way.
German. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So if you pass and if they are giving you a smile, if you are passing a smile, your intentions might be purely correct. However, they would be like, okay, is she up to something? Like, is she portraying something else? So sometimes smile becomes an advantage, but it also becomes a disadvantage personally, right? But I think it's really important. Mera to after like 6 years now, anybody, but it really helps emotionally as well to deal with your problems, right? There might be 100 things, but you can just end it up with a smile, and I think that's perfect sometimes.
Okay, but मैं अभी तक वहीं पे हूँ, because I was listening to Shah Rukh Khan, okay, and he was like कि when somebody dies
Yeah.
and I'm crying,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm really crying
Yeah,
or
because
I'm
he's been
acting.
acting. True.
Yeah, he's
True.
like, because I am doing it regularly
Yeah.
and I'm crying,
Yeah.
so thought पीछे चलता रहता है कि ये सचमुच में रो रहा हूँ मैं या एक्टिंग कर रहा हूँ
Yeah,
मैं.
because I think that happens naturally also sometime. This is a very good point to think about, wherein you actually don't understand sometimes that what are you actually portraying, be it in relationships, be it with mom and dad as well. Sometimes because we are not from an English culture. Thank you and sorry, obviously वो घर पे चलता है, but if you do that with your parents, they'd be like, what is this formality? Sometimes they take it that way, right? Like,
They must take it that
yeah,
way.
because
अभी मेरी बेटी मुझे बोले thank you, I was like, what's wrong with you?
initially this used to happen, and I am like this right now, that boyfriend also, if later on I'll be having a husband, if he'll bring a flower to me, I'll be like, thank you so much, right? Even for my parents, if my father does something to me, maybe he'll give me shadi mein some good land or whatever, I'll be like, thank you so much, which is coming naturally from inside, which it's not a formality. But ye maine on board itna kar liya hai, sorry or thank you is something like thank you is so naturally there. Like, even the littlest, even if you're asking me for water, I'll be like, no, thank you so much. And you don't actually realize that when you're doing it. So when you put a point that rone ke time bhi pata nahi chalta that I'm actually crying or I'm acting, this
नहीं, उसमें तो
happens.
आपको पता होगा, because that's a rarely thing which
Yeah,
you do.
no, like giving an example, this happens, this is for real, because we are human being, we tend to get robotic sometimes. First day jab maine demo kiya tha in front of 180 passengers doing this, I felt like 100 eyes are looking at me and I don't know what will I do. But now when I do it, I just know that, okay, these are like my guests, I'm just doing my job. So after a point, you get so habituated to it, right?
But let me give you another point.
Yeah.
एक तो पहली बार आपने जब करा 180 लोगों को,
हाँ.
ठीक है ना, इस विमान में 8 द्वार हैं जिनसे कूद के मैं आत्महत्या करना चाहती हूँ क्योंकि मेरे मॉडलिंग करियर की बम्बू हो गई. दैट एआईबी वाला.
इस विमान में 2 द्वार हैं जिनसे मैं कूदना चाहती हूँ क्योंकि मेरे मॉडलिंग करियर की बम्बू हो गई है.
True. Oh my god, yes, of course, totally.
Yeah, so okay, so क्या होगा कि when you do that, पहले तो आपको awkward लगा.
Yeah.
अब तो मैंने देखो चेहरे से बुरा लग जाता है. If I'm somebody usually occupied in books,
Yeah.
तो उनको लगता है सर
This
look
is
at me.
important. You have to look at me. I need that attention.
हाँ, seriously, they're like,
But
look at me, I'm doing this.
I think that is something like you should give a 2 minute. It hardly even takes 2 minutes to give that attention.
अरे वो
Right?
याद हो गया है मुझे. इतना ट्रैवल किया कि मतलब मैं खड़ा होके बोल दूंगा कि एक मिनट रुक जाओ मैं बताता हूँ.
Happens with me. Like, अभी मुझे सपने में भी कोई बोलेगा कि विमान का दरवाजा खोल दो, and I'll be like, okay, yes, please tell me. कहाँ दरवाजा खोलना
Seriously,
है?
if somebody needs to steal something from her flat, उनको जाना और वो चलाना है, विमान का दरवाजा खोल दो, and she'll open the door of her house.